It's Frogger for the Atari 2600, and we again have the Darth Vader Black Atari. Turn it off. Turn it on without a cartridge in there. Turn it on with a cartridge in there. And I believe my goal is going to be 10,000 today. But I don't know that I'm going to reach it, because I have to wait for the song to end. Oh, that's this one, that's right. Let's see, this is already starting pretty bad there, I was going to say. Lady Frog. Definitely need to try to get over to the far left, I was going to say, but gotta be careful about that, though, too. Oops. I always feel bad about that. I've said that before, but I always feel bad when I end up bringing a second frog to doom. There you go. There we go. Ah! This is not a great start. Let's see what we can do here. Shouldn't be so difficult. Tiny bit of glare on the TV, I'm realizing now from across the room, but that's alright. I'll adjust that after this game. Let's not take a chance. We're on our way back up, right? There you go. I was going to say it's going to end badly. Got lucky though. All right. Oh, I was going to say that's a problem. It is B difficulty. I don't know. With B difficulty, can you go through the side? You can! There, I was just assuming that I couldn't because that's how Frogger usually works. It makes sense where you can get higher scores as a result. Well, knowing that changes things for the better. The wraparound makes it a lot easier, I would imagine. In that case, we'll just do that. There's still some risk, though, because you have snakes and everything. Not as much risk, that's all. Just gotta be patient at that point. Have was treating it like regular Frogger rules. Who knew? At that point, you just take your time. We wait. Oh yeah, definitely a rude awakening when you don't have that wrap. I forgot all about the fact that that was even an option because I'm so used to playing the other versions of it now, where it's certain death. So I've already lost some lives that I didn't necessarily have to lose, just based on that. And how about no? Okay, we'll just wait there. Makes it a lot easier to get to the one on the upper left, I'll tell you that. And again, it's not like there's no risk. There's just reduced risk. All right. I really like the Epix 500 XJ for that. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Oh my goodness, that was taking a chance. We're gonna wait on that guy. All right. They're just going to drag their feet here. That was dangerous just because I wasn't sure. Yeah, I don't know, the CX-40 could have kept up with that, that's for sure. I like having the CX-40s though, those are nice. I mean, just if nothing else, to have the quote-unquote authentic experience. Yeah, the right controls can make a lot of difference on these things. Well, it looks like that may still be my best bet. Yep, CX-40, that's right. Well, at this rate, I may actually reach my 10,000. And I may have picked the wrong game because I was trying to pick something that I wouldn't end up playing for a long period of time today. Because I've got an appointment that I need to take my wife to. So this is going to be a limited stream today. Ooh, I don't even know about the CX-10s. They look like the later CX-40s, but with actual mechanical parts. I didn't know anything about that. And to confirm that I am correct on that, the CX-40 is the standard Atari joystick, is it not? That sounds right in my head, but I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate. Oh, are we almost out of time already, though? Okay, so this has still got some danger. Yep, ran out of time. Well, I'll bear that in mind. Can't just dilly-dally. quickly replaced by the regular CX40 that we all know. That's cool. I didn't know there was an earlier version of that. I mean, obviously, when I think of Atari, you also have the 5200 with the analog sticks that didn't center. And I never knew about those until later years. Didn't grow up with the 5200, but the one I picked up is in box even. Yeah, can't dilly-dally. They don't give you much time to dilly-dally on these. I will bear that in mind. Just because you can go from one side to the other doesn't mean you can just take your time. Well, speaking of which... Oh, problem. That's alright, we'll just hang out here now. Oh, the Heavy Sixer. Yeah, I definitely know about the Heavy Sixers. I do not own one. I do have a 6-switch Atari, but it's not a Heavy Sixer. Of course, 5200 was meant so broke the controller storage cover getting it out of the box like a more. Oh, that's sad. I do still have the box on the 5200 that I've got, though. The collector that I bought it from had the box still. I think I just mentioned that, but I'm pleased to buy the Atari Max cartridge where you can pop the SD card into there and play ROMs, which is, it's so nice. Playing on the original hardware, but then you can play homebrews and newer ones that have come out since then. It's kind of nice. This. Oh, that's cutting it close there. Don't like that. This may not be enough time to get where I need to go. Come on. There you go. All right. Nice. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to take a chance on that. I took the wrong chance on that, though. All right. All right, fine. Sorry, Lady Frog. Got us both killed. Yeah, they're not cheap, but my concern with the ones like the Atari Max, cartridges that allow you to play the SD cards, is when hobbyists stop making those, I feel like the cost of them will skyrocket that much more because they won't be making them anymore. And then if you want to get one, you'll be really out some money. I think I'm not going to get past this level. I need a gap here. Come on now. That is not it. 3942. I'm going to play through another one of these here. 3942 for starters. I feel like that's not a bad first run. I just said 3952. Let's actually be accurate. There we go. Cool. Let's aim for at least 5,000. So yeah, no, I've bought the EverDrive and similar ones like that for a lot of the systems. And the price has come down on some of them. I noticed I gifted an Atari 2600 to a friend of mine recently, and the price of the Atari 2600 version of it, the Harmony Encore, is really reasonably priced now. I want to say it was in like the $40 to $50 range. And it's for the one that plays even the bigger ROM files. Like, I haven't actually done anything in the way of programming for these things, but I did get a Udemy course where I thought I might learn how to do some programming language on that. It'd be fun to try some Atari programming and then be able to play it on the real hardware. Even if it was something very, very basic, that could be very fun, I think. I feel like this will probably be my second and final game today, so I don't spend all evening streaming this time. Yeah, when it's in that $50 range, it's like anything. Usually you figure as the price becomes, as the technology becomes more common, the price becomes more reasonable. That's how it works with most things. It still floors me to realize that VCRs used to cost like $1,000 and each blank tape was $50. And now look at it. Oh, there's Atari Basic if you don't want to do true assembly. That is a solid point. Maybe I'll start with that. But the assembly, like, it'd be fun just to learn. I feel like if you learn assembly, it would make other coding. Like, I'm not severely interested in coding, but having a grasp of that would be just nice in general. Closest I can remember is on the Commodore 64 that if I go print CHR $number 147 in parentheses, I have cleared the screen. Poke 53280, 0 and poke 53281, 0, I've made the screen black. There's little bits like that have stuck with me, but not much more than that. Nice. Racing the Beam that you've been meaning to read for that reason. You know, this Udemy course was on sale for like $10. It seemed like the instructor knew what they were talking about, and it would be easy enough to follow. I've just got to set aside the time to actually do it. Between that and the what seems like million of other things that I've given myself to do on a regular basis. I just finished January where I wrote and recorded a song every day for 31 days straight. In some ways I feel like I'm still exhausted from that, but I also write and record a song every week. I do a YouTube video every week performing a song as well, multiple instruments. Obviously there's the day job. You put all of these things together though, and it's like, where do you have the time to do it? It's like I'm not spending much time doing other stuff, I guess. You know, I get into something, and especially what I've found interesting about writing and recording a song a week is there's plenty of weeks where I'm like, I don't really feel like doing anything this week, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to stick to what I've been doing, and I'm going to write one. But I totally don't feel like it. And then I'm down here and working on it, and like 3 hours later I've got a song, and the time has flown. Like, oh, this thing that I didn't think I felt, but you know, I didn't feel like I was going to want to do this, and yet here I've been down here and I've lost track of time. Like, I feel like that's a good sign when that happens. But all the more reason to make time for streaming this, because I'm more likely to actually get use out of these classic consoles. And again, like, oh, damn it, my Steam library and everything, if I'm kind of holding myself to it. Really? Okay, let's not be overzealous here. Not even blaming the controller there. That was all me. Alright. I do think I'm going to break out the Commodore 64 later this week, though, too. I'm going to probably try to make at least a half an hour per day where I do this after work to kind of unwind a bit before whatever else I've got on my docket. Oh, yeah. Now, the closest was during my Yar's Revenge. I think I partially broke one of my 500 XJs during my 8-hour session of Yar's Revenge. I believe towards the end of that I had to switch controllers because I broke my 500 XJ for just 8 straight hours of playing. And there we go. Yeah, that was Glenn Smash. I don't do too much Glenn Smash is the thing, though. I love these controllers. I'm normally not too hard. I mean, I'm hard on a lot of stuff as far as, like, my gear and everything. But I will say it wasn't, like, out of anger or anything like that. It's probably just really getting into it and not making mistakes like that, but really just after 6, 7, 8 hours, whatever, like putting a little too much stress on the controller, probably gripping the controller a bit too tight or whatever. And yeah, but it was kind of a Glenn Smash moment, much to my surprise. Ah. Yeah, Yar's Revenge remains one of my favorites, but now I know that if I'm going for the world record to get it back, that it's going to take me 8+ hours to do it, and it becomes a little less likely. I've got to actually set the time aside for that. You almost think about what it is that you're going to eat that day to make sure that you're not going to have multiple trips to the bathroom. At least I discovered that you can take, for Twin Galaxies ones, you can take breaks. Every 2 hours, I believe, you can take a 10 to 15 minute break for marathon gaming, which is nice. These old Atari games don't have pause features, but Yar's has one that's kind of built into it. In between each stage, the action doesn't start till you hit the fire button, so it's kind of like a pause button. But that's the only 2 games. It's funny, the only 2 games that I've done marathon sessions in order to get high scores like that, where it's been 8 hours, have been Howard Scott Warshaw games. Is Yar's Revenge and E.T. And I thought I was ready to do that with Empire Strikes Back. I really enjoy that game, but it turns out the more you play, the faster the AT-ATs get. And the faster they get, it's like you're going to have maybe a 10-minute game if you're lucky. But there's something to be said for that. Or like Dodge 'em. To get a perfect game on Dodge 'em with B difficulty at least, it takes about 5.5 minutes. You just can't make any mistakes in that time. And that was my first world record, actually, was I tied the Dodge 'em perfect score. Oh, hell. Here we go. Okay. Ah! Jumped out of the way like that. I'm just not remembering or thinking about the fact that there's a snake there. And it's every other time. There we go. And this is still not exactly easy by any stretch, but I feel like if you can get past the one level where there's not much breathing room, the world record for this is difficult but not impossible. I'm not sure that I could really go after it, but I could certainly... With the idea that you can go through the side, all of a sudden it seems a little more possible. Yeah, and it's like anything with dodge and its patterns. I played it enough, like, to realize there was a pattern that I had that worked once it became 2 cars, that you could just repeat that same pattern over and over and over. And once you've memorized it at that point, it's 5.5 minutes. But again, B difficulty. You throw A difficulty into there, it's not so easy. Not that it's easy even on B difficulty, but it can be done. And that is bad. All right. I think I'm on my last guy. Being patient within reason. Can't be too patient here. Get too patient, you don't have time. Yep, I'm not going to be able to line that up just right. There we go. Yeah, and I imagine, yeah, it is hypnotizing after a while, dodge them. You're exactly right about that. Well, that does that. 3674. I may be able to pull one more out real quick. 3674 is not better. All right. I could not see the screen from there, so. Yep, the new goal is 5,000 on this one, and I figured the third time's a charm, maybe. After that, I really should get ready and head out. There is something to be said for doing this quickly enough that you get the bonus points for time. Because unlike Spider-Man, at least there seems to be, well, there's definitely a time bonus on this one. No seems to be about it. There's a time bonus. So it still pays to not dilly-dally just because you can go through the sides. If you can. But it's like anything else, it's balanced though too, because you've got to be careful enough. Quick but careful. Alright. Wasn't going to take a chance on the diving turtles. I will say when the sides can kill you, it makes you take a little more in the way of chances with those diving turtles though. That was taking a chance. Ah! That was more than taking a chance. That was me hitting backwards. Bad move. Oh yeah, let's get off of there. I just saw those appear. Figured those were safe. Just saw them appear. Pardon me. All right. That was just dumb. And again. All right. I'm just gonna die. There we go. 4th time's a charm. That's all. Restart. Alright. Yeah, I did that boneheaded move right there, and I didn't think that wasn't a good enough showing to consider a real deal. With any of this stuff, well, I don't know about you, but I'll end up making up any sort of excuse like, no, that one didn't count. This one's for real now. I think to a great extent that's pretty much classic gamer logic there. Wouldn't feel right. They don't give you a lot of time to get to the fly on this, do they? Yep, 6-year-old. I think I'm a 6-year-old at heart in some regards. Yeah, there we go. We got the fly. Alright, let's see what we can do. Got that bonus points just for being pretty quick about it. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, it's not like you can be completely across for the fly. It's not like you can be completely across town and have any prayer of getting to it quick enough. That's like burger time in the peppers. In order to get those bonus peppers, you gotta be in a pretty good place. More luck than skill, yeah. I could agree with that. Luck is definitely a big factor within it. Although if you're really paying attention and know... I imagine that there's people who have broken it down as far as how often it appears. I imagine it's not completely random. And if someone knows how much of the timer... Yeah, you would imagine there's a pattern/algorithm to it. And if you know, for example, that the fly is going to show up at a certain period of time, then you could position yourself strategically in order to have a better chance at it. Or be like me and jump the gun when you were right next to it that time. I imagine there are folks who have put that much thought into it. I think I lost my Chuck Norris Super Kicks world record. I believe I'm second place on that one. That might be a fun one to revisit and see if I can take that world record back. I was taking a serious chance by riding on the gator at that point. Crocodile gator. Oh, hi. There you go. And that's where you wonder if the instructions actually tells you exactly how often the fly comes by, but I imagine it doesn't. It just says, sometimes this happens. That would make more sense. Yeah, see, and it's funny, growing up, that was how I was too. It was all about getting to the next screen and not really caring much about score either, back in the day. Now... ever since watching King of Kong: A Fistful of Quarters, it's like, there are world records for this? Huh. Well, let's see if I can do that for the quote-unquote worst game ever made. Let's do that. Let's see how that works out. But like growing up, you're right. Like it would be cool if you reached like a 10,000 or something where it's all zeros, But outside of that, it really, yeah, that same. That was growing up especially. If I'm playing Donkey Kong, I'm not paying attention to the score so much as, did I make it to the elevator stage? Did I make it to the Pie Factory? With Star Wars, did I defeat that third Death Star? So the score becomes just like more of like an extra challenge of, okay, this is the bar that I've set for myself. Can I outdo that? I've seen that this is as good as I've done before. Can I do even better? Yeah, so I can't go as far as saying I don't care about score, because clearly that's what I'm doing here. But ultimately, it's still about, hey, can I get to the next level? Yeah, no, and the quote-unquote pie factory or cement factory, the Commodore 64 version also had it. And the C64 version of Donkey Kong is pretty legit, too. The Atari Soft version of that. Because as much as I thought the ColecoVision one looked like Donkey Kong, when I played the C64 version, I was like, whoa, this even has the pie factory. Because the ColecoVision version of it does not have the pie factory. Had the elevators, which was like, oh, cool, it's got that. And up to that point, the only one I knew of that actually had elevators, too. I just heard my phone buzz. I hope it is not my wife being like, are you ready? Let me double check. Just to be sure. Nope, it is not her. Regardless, this really is my last game because I do not want her to be late for her appointment because of me. Not going to get to fly that rate. Hey. Yeah, no, 25 years of marriage for a reason, though. There's a mutual respect there. She is wonderful. She's very understanding. She's very supportive in pretty much everything that I do, and an absolute wonderful person. I could not ask for a better wife. And that is not just me saying that to gain brownie points. She really is wonderful. I've seen how a number of other relationships work, and I'm glad I'm not in those relationships. And she feels the same. After all, I probably couldn't write and record a song per week if I had a wife that was gonna get all upset about that. And go! Been enjoying playing one of them that she's been pretty good at here recently, though. From the same makers of Rock Band, you have Fuser. And she's been good at mixing and matching the songs for that, for amusing results. Yeah, it is super fun. It is, again, the makers of Rock Band. It is on all the newer consoles, so it's Xbox One, PS4, well, somewhat new. Last generation, I guess, now. And PC. And it's kind of a DJ situation where you're taking the bass parts from a song, the drum parts from a song, the vocal parts from a song, the keyboard and or guitar parts from a song, and mixing and matching this bass part from and this drum part and this vocal part, and putting reverb on or like flanger on, and like just making your own mashup creations in real time. Only reason I know about it is a friend of mine told me about it, and it was free to play on Xbox a couple of weekends ago, and I was having a lot of fun with it to the point where I thought, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and buy this one. Yeah, they gamified music looping software. That's exactly what it is. And they're putting out new DLC each week, so I just had to get this most recent one. Was Belle Biv DeVoe's Poison was one of the 3 songs this last week. That had to happen. And it's fun and creative because when you have, in this case, there was 3 of us playing too. So I would take my turn, Rach would take her turn, and my friend Fenn would take his turn. And you're building off of what the last person ended with. So if she started with something, one of my go-tos that I enjoyed enough recently is I took the vocals from Venus by Bananarama, the bass part from a song I had never heard before that I really enjoyed through the game, called Hold Up, and I called it Hold Up Venus. But now you go into Where's Your Head At by Basement Jaxx on the choruses. And yeah, it's really fun. There was a trading card version of this. A trading card version of it they did called Drop Mix. So this is like Drop Mix, but without the cards. There we go. Okay, I'm smart about this. Nope. 39.50 is going to have to do it. But yeah, if you look on my YouTube channel, I streamed it not that long ago. And here on Twitch, too, I have streamed it. Oh, would you look at that? I beat my personal best by 8 points. But yeah, Fuser is a new game. It is fun. I will yeah, exactly. Beat my personal best. I will gladly take it. That is another game that we'll be streaming on this channel. I've already streamed it a couple of times, but it's such a blast to build on each other's mixes. And I imagine that I will continue buying more DLC, which will give more to choose from. What I found is tricky with it is limiting your choices, because you have only so many songs that you can bring with you to that DJ battle, I guess you could say. It's like 24 songs. It's supposed to be... No, it may not be 24. Let me think about this. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be 24 that you are able to bring with you, but you can cheat in a way and bring 8 more, because you can have pieces of 4 other ones. It's tough to explain. But you get 3 record crates with 8 per, and then you can bring a 4th one where it's a mix of any 4 parts, but you can just choose the 4 parts of the same song, and it extends it to where you now have 32 songs to choose from, where you can take bits of this and bits of that. And I think the real fun of it is in real time. You have something going. Oh, and it switches between major and minor keys too. So if it's in a major key, you can change it to where it's in a minor key. You can change the tempo and change the key that you're in. And the results, can be really funny and fun. But also wait a minute, I have this going. I wonder if this vocal would work with it. And you're trying it in real time, and it turns out, oh my goodness, it totally works or it totally doesn't. And if you really like a mix that you've done, you can also go and record that and share it with the Fuser community too. So yeah, I'm I'm always addicted to something. It's just a matter of what. And for newer games, I'd say Fuser is currently that game. All right, definitely going to call it for now, but 3,950 is not a bad little start. Thanks again, Brass Bit. Nice to see you in there again. And we will catch you later. I'm going to shut this down.